GM. GM. Today I want to talk about time management and how you can crush your goals by correctly setting up your days, your weeks, your months to focus on cash flow and trading. So the vast majority of people in my campus are not full-time traders yet. You probably want to be, and you're on the path to getting there, and hopefully you can get there in due time. But not right now. So right now you're focusing on bringing money in as well as multiplying it, right? So learning how to trade. But here's the thing. I know the market is more interesting than your job. I know the market is more exciting, cooler, a better way to make money than all of these things. But in life, you don't do the things you want to do. You do the things that you need to do, right? So the important thing here is that you're realistic and understand that the more time you spend on cash flow, the sooner you'll be able to spend more time on trading, right? If you need more money right now, you must work for it. You must go to a job. You must get a second job. You must do overtime. You must join one of the cash flow campuses. Copywriting, e-com, content creation, social media, AI, anything. You pick one. Now don't try and do 10 things at once. You pick one. If you're stuck, just work in real life. Just do more work, get more dollars. Don't spend those dollars, put them away. Or whatever currency you have. And create a plan. So, I'll lay it out for you very simply. The worst thing you can do is try and live off trading. That's a stupid idea. It's a terrible idea. It's some bullshit that's sold to you by fucking idiots who don't know what they're talking about. Living off your trading balance is absolutely not what you should try and do at all until you have probably $1 million. Or at the very least, $500,000. Why? Because the entire point of learning how to trade or invest is that you understand the power of compounding. Compounding works when you take money and you add money to it. And then you grow that and then you add to it. And then you grow that and then you add to it. If you're growing and adding, you can't take away. Every dollar you pull out of your portfolio is a dollar that can't compound. Every time you pull out $3,000 to pay your living expenses for the month, that's $3,000 that can't go into an investment. That's potentially $3,000 that's $10,000 if you just left it for 2 years. If you just put it into Bitcoin for 2 years, it could be worth $10,000. And yet you've pulled it out because you need to live. So most people want to get to like $50,000 and then live off trading. And I'll tell you very clearly, if you do that, you're not going to become a millionaire. Right? Because when you get to $50,000, you can actually compound and grow your portfolio over a few years into $1 million. You could do that over, I don't know how long. I'm not going to say it because it's different for everyone. Several years of profitable trading. That will compound pretty quickly. But not if you're taking money out. So if you have $50,000, if you get to that $50,000 level and your living expenses for the year is $20,000 and you focus on just getting $20,000 of cash flow, whether that's from a business that you automate, right? You delegate your business so that it brings in a little bit of money every month so you can pay your bills. You don't have to touch your trading balance. You can vastly increase your portfolio. If you don't, then you start with $50,000, you make a bit of money, you have to pull that out in order to pay your bills, and then you're back to square one. So, when is the right time to go full-time? The right time to go full-time is when you're making so much money from your trading that even if you pull it out during the month, you don't end up with less. Simple. So I'll use an example. If it costs you $2,000 a month to live, right? If your entire living expenses for a month is $2,000, you must have a documented, proven track record of making at least 5 a month consistently, which probably means you need to have a portfolio size of 50, 60, 70, 80k. Let's say you have 80k portfolio, and on an average month you make 5k, and you have to pull out 2. You're still growing your portfolio. It grows from 80 to 85. You take out 2, it goes to 83. You're still growing. Now you're growing slower. I still would recommend that you find a way to have cash flow that you don't have to touch that, because if you don't touch it, it will grow faster. It's very simple. It will grow faster, it will grow bigger, it will grow more consistently. It's very, very simple. Now, how should you actually split your time between cash flow and trading with that in mind? You must heavily weight your time towards cash flow. If you have 5k, you're not going full-time trading. But you must stay in the market and trade if you want to learn. This is the delicate balance. A lot of people will take this the wrong way and think, oh, so there's no point trading at all if I don't have 50k or 20k or 100k. No, not at all. Every day you're in the market. Every day you're doing your journaling, you're tracking your trades, you're learning, you're backtesting, you're dollar trading. Every day you're doing that, you're getting better, you're improving, so that when you do have more cash flow and do have more savings, you can then multiply that bigger amount. If you just ignore the market for 2 years and go and save up 50k and come back, you're just going to lose that 50k because you don't know how to trade. If you minimize the time, right, because the market is very addictive, it's entertainment, it's like a game. If you minimize your time, you don't spend 4 hours a day trading when you need to make more cash flow. You spend about an hour. That's why my bootcamp is designed to be done in 1 hour a day. And you make a process. This is where time management comes in. I've got a lesson on it. It's in the winner's workflow. It's about journaling. You set up a process so that you can do all the things you need to do in 30 minutes, 15 in the morning, 15 at night. And then all you do in between is take trades if they present. You can make sure that you catch into and touch onto everything you need in 1 or 2 hours a day of trading. That includes being in the campus, doing your journaling, watching my videos, listening to my lesson, and you don't have to do every single one of those things all the time every day if you're focusing on cash flow. And you have to earn the right. Make it one of your goals. You have to earn the right to spend more time trading. You should say to yourself, I want to be free to spend 4 hours a day focusing on the market. That's basically half your time. That's half of a normal workday. Normal workday is 8 hours. If you're starting off and you're spending an hour in the campus and an hour learning because you need to focus 9 hours a day on work and cash flow, set your goal so that in a year from now, you can spend 4 hours a day in the market and 6 hours a day working. Because you've built up cash flow, you've automated parts of your business, you've developed to a point where you can. It has to become a goal. It has to be something you earn. You must earn the right to do it. And here's the last thing. Long-term trading, swing trading, multiple weeks, those type of positions where you're holding them for a longer time is what you should be focusing on if you're 90% of the time on cash flow, 10% on trading. Focus on building systems that you don't need to check in on 5 times a day. Build a system based on the daily chart, 6-hour chart, 4-hour chart, where you know when you enter it, it's probably going to take 3 or 4 days, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, to play out. So you can set it, forget it, set your alerts, and only react when needed. And then you can actually allow your portfolio to grow by itself. And here's the thing. Some of my best trading was actually when I was still working. Not at the very beginning. At the very beginning, I was learning. It was difficult, right? As it is, because you don't know the market. But when I got to a point where I was almost ready to go full-time, I delayed. I delayed going full-time for longer than I needed to because I actually was trading really well. And there is actually a benefit of this. There's a benefit of taking yourself away from the market in terms of, I've got my system, I wait for a daily close. If the daily close is like this, I enter a swing trade. The target is probably going to be 2 or 3 weeks for it to reach there. And I'm just going to set it. And then I'm busy with my job. I'm busy with work. And I don't have to overanalyze. And it actually stops you from making silly mistakes like closing early or changing the trade or flipping your bias. There is something to be said for being detached slightly from the market. So use that to your advantage. When you're so busy with your business or school or your job or your cash flow, allow it to benefit your trading. take higher time frame trades, wait for higher time frame confirmation, and use that. So 90% of your time should be cash flow. If you're on the grind, 90%. You can learn how to trade with 1 or 2 hours a day. And then set a goal to increase that over time.